Welcome back to episode 6 of a super conversation about the Superman franchise. I'm Korbin Zvokel,
I'm Jackson Mahuron.
and today we're back. We're returning. It's Superman Returns. Bryan Singer Superman Returns. We're talking fast. We're talking super. 10 minutes on the clock. 3, 2, 1. Clock has started. I think we got to adjust the elephants in the room of Kevin Spacey and Bryan
Yeah.
Singer. Don't really have
hmm
to get into it, but when you have two people in your movie who each have one sexual misconduct allegations and one sexual assault allegations on their Wikipedia page as headings, never a good sign. Let's talk about their performance in this movie. Spacey as Luthor, does it work for you?
It's like, okay, yeah, I guess maybe we should talk about like the framing in which this movie
True.
exists. Like
Maybe
this
Singer
is
first a little bit.
we yeah, we so this kind of is like a continuation of the Donner stuff, it seems. Like one and two seem to be canon in this movie. It's obviously on a sliding time scale, which I texted Corbin because like those movies were set in the 70s in modern era for that time and set in 2006, I think, in a very modern era
Flip
also.
phones,
But the
fax
same
machines.
characters. Exactly. Huge plot points. So like in that way, I should say that like we are talking about the performances of them kind of doing takes on characters that are already like a canon version of the character, so they can't really like do a new take, except for Luther, I think. I think this is maybe the best part of this movie with Kevin Spacey. I can't believe I'm saying that with Kevin Spacey, kind of giving a little bit more than previously with the take, and like it's still like kind of that old campy thing, like with the intro of him like scamming an old lady into giving her or into giving him her estate and stuff. Like that's very like old Lex, but he has like an intensity about him that feels a little more unique for the character.
It's a good point. They are a little bit shackled, I guess, to what has been established in the Donner and Lester films. It
hmm
wasn't like in the marketing they weren't hitting hard like this is a sequel to the first two movies, but like when they
Yeah.
first pitched it, they were like, "Hey, we want to just like go back to the basics. Superman Returns. Like everybody knows his origin story. Of course, in this one, in this 2.5 hour movie, they still feel the need to like give us a flashback of him as a child doing stuff. So it's like clearly they don't trust us that much to understand the
Yeah.
origin story. But I do agree that to a certain extent, everybody's kind of has to live in what was already pre-established. The nice thing
hmm
about Spacey is he cares more than Hackman did at the time, which is but like Hackman wouldn't even shave his head to do the movie.
Yeah.
And Spacey's at least committing. He still has to do the real estate developer thing, and his whole plot is very similar to like the earthquake
Sure.
planet, shifting plot in the first movie.
Yeah.
So in that sense, it does feel like a direct lineage. Um, Talking about that decision to come back and do Superman, it is interesting. Between Superman 4 and this movie coming out, there's like 6 Batman movies, I think, that are released in theaters. You've got the 4
hmm
in the 90s, you've got Batman Begins, and they even get Mask of the Phantasm out in theaters in the time it takes
hmm
for them to just do a new take on Superman. And then it's not even a new take.
And then it's not. Yeah, and that's my biggest issue too. And like with Brandon Routh, I think is like on paper a really great casting. He's been in like the
Yeah.
CW like Arrowverse forever doing a bunch of fun stuff. I like him a lot. But like you can tell that he is constrained in having to do this impression of Christopher Reeves Superman. And it sucks because like I think he could do a really good job on his own, but like he really just doesn't get a chance to do any like it just kind of stinks. Like
Well, and also
he's
just the
his Clark
position
is
it,
really
it
flat.
puts him in where like Lois, let's talk about Lois. Like Lois has a kid with James Marsden. Singer obviously has a love for Marsden as like a cuck and what
True.
he does in X-Men as
The
well.
X-Men.
He's getting typecast a little bit, but I just think it's such a strange direction to take this. We talk about so much about how they basically split Lois and Clark up after that second movie, and this one does nothing to really right
And
those
that's the
wrongs
thing
either.
too. And I was talking to Abby about this, like this is maybe a good chance to have those characters end up where we want them to end up if you're like going back to kind of like make amends for like what was left on the table. And then they do the exact opposite and make Superman this weird, is he like an absentee father at the end? Like he doesn't seem very interested in like wanting to be a parent to his obviously, well, I guess does he know if it's his child? Yeah, he
Well,
does.
the thing is, yes, it is. There's like there's no like stated acknowledgement in the film. Lois leans in and whispers in his ear
Hmm.
as he's like dead or whatever, and then like you assume the kid hears it, and then Clark like shows up and says something to the
Get
kid later.
and gives them the
But I
Marlon
knew it
Brando
was his fucking
voiceover.
kid right away as soon as they were like, "Oh,
Super
5 years
obvious.
ago." Like, and
Yeah.
they obviously, I think at like an hour left in the movie, he throws the piano, and it's the official reveal. But even then, after that fact, you still have another hour where nothing fucking happens with this kid, and it's very
And
strange.
speaking of official reveal, Jimmy Olsen being like, fearless reporter Lois Lane is a mommy. Ew, gross. Go to jail, Jimmy. That's just another complaint. I feel like Jimmy Olsen and Perry White both get like taken into a really weird direction with their characters. They both seem like really misogynistic, where like I didn't get that vibe. Like they seem to respect Lois a lot more in the old movies. And I just feel like the supporting characters around her just don't care about her as much.
It's an easy thing to say, but it's like there's a shot where like Lois gets up and it just lingers on her ass for a while. There's the whole subplot of
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
Superman saves Parker Posey, and then they're gonna be like, oh, well, you're gonna be jealous about this fact that he saved a hooker or something. Like it's just a lot of weird
Yeah.
stuff that I guess maybe it's Singer or just general 2000 studio filmmaking that doesn't hold up super well. I agree.
No.
And,
I
and
do
it's
think there
seen
are
in
some,
Perry White and Jimmy Olsen as well, for sure.
yeah, totally. And I do think my issue, a lot of this has to do with like the Lois Lane downgrade overall. Like the casting, I don't really see it.
I
I
don't think
don't
I
like the
knew who
performance.
Kate Bosworth was.
Yeah. Like the yeah, it's just not really like the energy that you want out of the character, the spunk, the just like I don't know. Like it just felt also like Lois writing a story of called Why the World Doesn't Need Superman just doesn't feel within her character. I think even if she wrote that, it would be like more of an uplifting piece of like we're all better without him, like or we're all better because of him, therefore like we don't need him anymore. Like we've kind of risen to the occasion. Like it just doesn't feel like a Lois Lane type of thing. And it's like rooted
Pulitzer
in
Prize
like
winning.
yeah, and it's like kind of rooted in her being jealous and mad that like he left her. And it's
Exactly.
like,
Yeah.
and that just doesn't feel like a Lois thing to me either. I don't think it would let her affect her work in that way.
Yeah. And I mean, it's
But
the second Superman shows up, she's instantly like also back head over heels for him flying around with
yeah.
him. Um, I agree. It is not their relationship is to me the worst part of this movie 100%.
Hmm.
And it's so focused on it because you've got this kid dynamic. Um, the look I think in general is bad. You hate the suit, so I'll let you go on it about it.
The suit,
Um,
it's the worst suit for sure. The colors are so muted. The red looks like it's brown, which is
it's
like
the cape is the worst
really
part.
weird.
When
The
from
cape,
behind
it
the
looks
back of the
like
cape looks brown. I agree. That's what I
yeah.
wrote down. It's
And it
gross.
looks like it's heavy leather, like the material looks really weird for the cape also. And then to have this like raised plastic logo like on this suit, it like just feels like a cheap Halloween costume. Like I just don't know how else to describe it. And to go from again, if you're continuing this legacy of the first two movies, why not have like the same bright, vibrant suit? Like I know his character's in a different place, but like I don't know, that just felt like really strange and just a missed opportunity overall.
Yeah, I mean, you can look in like the color of your back. Like, there's no shot in any of the four Reeve Superman movies that like have this aesthetic. So they're obviously
Hmm.
trying to create something different, but it feels pretty drab throughout. I think. Also, there's a lot of just like trying to show the scope and scale of things, where like the camera is just moving to like this unattainable place, and it just makes everything look so much more fake. Overall, I think
Hmm.
the effects are fine. Um, some lasers, some bullet dodges, a little bit of flubbery bodies at certain points, I think.
The heat vision looks so stupid. I actually
Well,
really,
in the
really hate the
eyes,
heat
we got the
vision.
blue eyes. Is this guy on the planet Arrakis? Has he been taking spice,
That's
Jackson?
the fact. I can okay, also this is a big complaint of mine for this. We can understand the silliness of like the Clark Kent disguise, but like Christopher Reeve sells it. Like you can do, like he does that body transformation scene where you're like, okay, I get it. And in this, there's nothing to establish that, and he has these piercing blue eyes and just looks about the same. Like the scene where he is Superman in the hospital in not Superman clothes and just like asleep. That should be Clark Kent. Like that's he should just be, you know, yeah.
I agree. There's
Um,
no reason to artificially do that. It looks really weird.
yeah.
That's our timer. I do want to shout out Cal Penn, who appears in this movie but doesn't say a single word because all 20 of his lines were cut out. So he's just running around.
Yeah. I really want to quick shout out the awesome airplane save, best part of the movie.
Lois
That's,
should
that's
have
like the only
died
thing I can
though.
give
She
it.
gets like thrown
Oh,
against the wall
totally.
of
It's
the airport
insane.
like six
It's
times.
insane.
It's Final
But it
Destination.
is it is a good save and it is fun. But
And
yeah.
I know timer's up, whatever. We're returning. Superman has returned. How many times does he return in this movie, Jackson?
So many times. Like
He
a lot
returns
of
in the
times,
beginning.
right?
He returns
Yeah.
as an idea, as a movie. He
Mm-hmm.
returns after Lex stabs him, and then he
Mm-hmm.
returns again after he's stay in the hospital. So a lot of returning.
They nailed the movie
Uh,
title, I'll say that.
they knew what they were doing on that front. Did you see the guy with the shaved Joker head? Is that supposed to be like a henchman or
They mentioned some like clown gang in the beginning and like I guess it
they
came
say
back. It was
Gotham?
stupid. Yeah,
I
they
don't
do say
know.
Gotham. I got that.
Very
Man.
weird.